everyone, this is Kyle with K-Debate. I wanted to make a quick video about something I was watching earlier today. It was Stephen Colbert talking to somebody about the Democratic debate. Now, this isn't about the Democratic debate. This is about what they said. And one of the things they asked was, there's three candidates right now. And there's Bernie Sanders and Hillary, which are the two that are really the big ones. And then there's a third guy that isn't very popular in the polls. And one of the questions was, are you going to give him as much time because he's probably not going to win during the debate? Or are you going to give him as much time to speak? And the response from the moderator that's going to be holding the debate said, it doesn't matter if you're going to win. It matters what you have to say because the conversation is more than the winners and the losers. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he means, is a conversation is not just about winning. It's about adding to it. It's about the way he was using it was, I think, it was like polishing or strengthening, or it was just making it a better conversation. I don't remember the exact word he used, but that concept of going into the debate, especially for the moderator and for the people that are participating in it, is very, very important. I just realized my microphone is way the heck over here. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the audio. Hopefully. So anyway, the moderators, and I really don't know, this is multi-directional, so it should be fine. When you have a moderator that is biased, that wants something to happen, then you're already messing with the format of the debate. That's what happened during the Republican debate, which was that apparently, and this isn't fact, I don't know how true this is, but it's what it seemed based off of what happened, was a lot of the animosity between the media and the people debating was that it sounded like, or it seemed like, that they wanted to create this this animosity between all the candidates. It's like, oh, you said this about them. What do you have to say about that? Are you a joke? Just stuff like that. Things that were antagonistic, as opposed to trying to bring out a conversation. They were trying to bring out an argument, which is not what the debates are for. No debate should ever be formatted to alienate people or to antagonize people into saying things that are more destructive than creative. Because it's not about winning. It's never supposed to be about winning. A debate is about information. It's about, these are my arguments, and these are why I'm making the arguments, and these are where my arguments come from, and these are what the arguments lead to. And that's how people can understand you. That's why I make these videos to begin with. It's to get the information out so people know. And I don't think a lot of the candidates, because there's like a dozen of them in the Republican thing still, so there's not a lot of time to talk about the things that they're really in-depth talking about. Maybe they don't have something to talk about in everything, but when you have a really, really complex system, which is the government in general, everything is complex, then you have to have a complex reasoning, an answer to these questions. And during that debate, there were some, but there wasn't really a lot of time to explain them. And you can't have a conversation or a debate if the format's not engineered towards conversation and debate, but instead about antagonistic concepts or inflammatory things or just sound bits, which is really what that whole thing was about. It was about, you against you, go. Okay, now 5 seconds later, you against you, go. And that's popularity. That's sound bits. That's misinformation. That's, you're giving fuel to the fire when the fire shouldn't exist at all. There shouldn't be animosity between any of the candidates. Their goal should never be against somebody. It should be for the people they represent. That is what our government is about. So when you have this concept of it's us against them, and that's really what it is, and between the Republican candidates, they can kind of agree that the Republican platform is what they want, but then the Democratic population also has that, the people running, is that, we agree with our side, you agree with your side, and we're never going to agree with each other. The people that lose are the people they're supposed to be representing, because they're not for them, they're against the other people. And so within the Republican thing, they're all against each other because it's a competition to see who can win. Same thing with the Democrats. Now, when they're just against each other, when whichever one gets nominated, now it's going to be this person against this person. There's only 1 and 1, so they can more focus on their side, so that the people representing or being represented get more of a voice because there's less arguing. It's still this person against this person, so there isn't a direct connection. It's still a splashover of, I'm going to do everything I can to destroy the other candidate so that I win, so that I can represent you. But that's not the arguments they're making. They're not trying to represent you. They're trying to represent the platform of the multitude of the people that already support them. So your constituents, which should be, when I say constituents, I know I'm using the word not perfectly, but the people the president is supposed to represent is all of the United States, not just the people that vote for them. That's the representative government is not just about, the 51% that voted for you. You can't just dismiss the 49%. You have to still represent them. That majority rule, that's the reason why we got rid of, that's why we don't have a pure democracy, is what I mean to say. Pure democracy means the 51% can vote against the 49%. Representatives are supposed to be able to go and supersede that. Say, yes, the people in this group and this group hate each other, but we're representing everybody, and in our knowledge of the system, we can do something that benefits everyone equally. That's what the representative government is supposed to do. It's not supposed to say, well, I'm going to help the people that voted for me so that they vote for me again, or that they give me the things that I need so that I have the power I need to represent them more. And that's what's been happening for a long time. So when I see a debate person, a moderator, saying, this isn't about the people that win, this is about the conversation, this is about the information, that's what I really like. And I would really like to be something like that someday. And I'm not really working towards that because I'm not really that kind of person. It's a dream, kind of like, oh, I would really like to be a drummer, or I'd really like to be this. But you just don't have that drive to learn all the different skills. It's like, I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to be somebody that helped people with their mental problems or their emotional problems. But I'm not a scholar. I'm not somebody that has the skill set to go to school, go to advanced studies for 12 years and get a doctorate. I'm not that kind of person. But as a moderator, I don't want to be a big moderator. I would want to be a little one. But then at the same time, I don't have that skill set of dealing with large amounts of aggressive people. I have problems with dealing with aggressive people. I can't handle that. So I would probably be very bad at those kinds of debates. I'm more of people that are more about the conversation than the argument. Those are the kind of people I would be very good at moderating for. But those are more like those would be like school moderators, like people that would be able to moderate between this competition, but also one that is it's not to win, it's to inform. So you saw it was on the news a while back. It was Harvard versus the prison inmates, where the prison inmates actually won the debate. That would be the kind of competition of debate that I would be more comfortable with. Though I think that, and what I'm doing now with YouTube, I think the thing with YouTube more coincides with my interests. But if this could ever become more, then yes, I would love to be able to hold actual debates. So, but I would like to do it through YouTube and through a more direct, a direct conversation between people as opposed to two opposing groups. Because I would like to be able to talk to, I would also be like to be a participant in a debate more often. I've taken debating in college, and I've debated a lot throughout my life, but it's never been official. It's never been big. It's just always been between like one or two, maybe two, anywhere between 1 and 5 people all talk, and it's more of a conversation. It's like you make your point, then you make your point, then I make my point, and then we argue, and then we all yell at each other. But no, I'm just making a joke. But I'm not really funny or engaging enough to hold like something on my own. So the reason I named this channel K-Debate was that I wanted to have other people to talk to in these videos, and I've just never had the environment to do so. I've had people say they kind of want to do it, but they didn't have the time. And I've also had people that say that they'd be interested, but they're not really interested in the topics, and they wanted to talk about things that were extremely controversial and that I was uncomfortable talking about because it came off as extremely like one of my, I won't say who it was, they were just racist. they were just flat out racist, and I was roommating with them, and they were just like, "Oh, I want to be part of your thing." It's like, screw this person and screw that group. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do those kind of debates. Those are not. Those are they specifically wanted to do it to get people angry, and I'm not going to do that. So, while I do want to be current, which in the setting it pretty much equates to controversial because that's what makes things current for some reason. It makes things something more talked about, something more viral. I don't like doing things to become viral. I don't like things to do, and I've never done that. I've never gone viral with anything. But there's a point where I do want to reach someday, which is that I have a base of people that I can say, hey, I'm doing a video on this topic. Do you want to join me? That's what I want. And then we can have a discussion as opposed to me just talking to you. And that way it's more, it adds the dynamic that I lack in myself, which is I don't engage, I don't discuss, I just kind of talk. And discussion requires two people, or two more. And I think that would help. Once I have that, that is my specialty. That is what I am good at. And this is me trying to build up to being good enough to hold a conversation without stopping and getting like mixed up or saying all the time. And I've over the time, if you've watched my early videos, which are terrible, I think I've gotten significantly better. And I do say sometimes. I still don't know what to do with my hands, and I have a thing in my background, but this is still just a hobby for me. This is still, I want to make it more. I want to make it bigger and better and more everything. I want it to be better through me. I mean, I want to do better. So that's what I'm trying to do. So in relation to debate, this is what I want. This is what I like, that moderator guy. What he said is what I also agree with. And that's why I brought it up as the beginning. And I don't see that a lot, not in modern television anywhere, is the idea of what debate is supposed to be. A good moderator is non-bias. A good moderator is there for the conversation, not for their own agenda. And it's really hard to find somebody like that who has there's like not an intensity, it's a consistency. That's what I meant to say. I was getting my words mixed up. An integrity of, like, journalistic integrity, where you don't befuddle the facts or mix up the facts just to get the story. Journalistic integrity is something that is also rare, and that's one of the reasons why people don't like the media. It's bias, and almost every media outlet is in bias in one way or the other. And the ones that aren't biased don't become successful, so people don't hear about them as much. You might have seen my video on getting hired for a media thing. I got hired in a company that did online media. It wasn't very big, but it had dozens of people working there. And they changed one of the things that I wrote. It was one of the first things I wrote for them. They changed it, and I asked them to change it back, and they got mad at me for it because they changed it to a bias, because it was an anti. See, what it was is it was a liberal thing. It was a liberal thing, and I asked them, "Are you going to ask me to write liberal stuff? Because I won't do that. I'm only going to write unbiased stuff." And they said, "It's fine. It's fine. We liked what you made. It's good. You're hired." And so I wrote the first thing, and I was like, it's not good enough. So I rewrote it a few times so to make it better. And they're like, okay, this is good. And then I made a video to go along with what I wrote, and they said, this is good. We're actually gonna post this on our website, and they did. And then when I went to it, they had changed a whole bunch of it. They changed what was in it. They changed the title of it, and they still had my video in it, and they didn't edit the video, but it changed the context of what the video was, because it was a very, very, very compacted bit of information that I gave. So it seemed like I was trying to give that information for a different reason, and I didn't like that, and I asked them to change it back. And when I wasn't exactly what's the word, chivalrous. I wasn't subtle about it. I was like, I want this changed back, or I want out completely. And what they did was they said, okay, we're going to change it back, and they were being amiable. I think that's the word I was thinking of. And what happened was I had changed my bio on their website, because I added a little bio for me, and they put it on everything that I post if you link to it. And it was, I had added to it, if anything in my videos or in my thing is bias, it means that this company has changed it, and it is not a reflection of what I believe. I had put that in there because I knew that I think I put it in there after I realized they changed it. And I was like, this is not a reflection of me. I am not saying these things, because I believe that it was after they changed it. And they sent me an email saying I was fired because of that. And they said some pretty insulting things about, you're nobody. Who are you to demand things from us? Nobody cares about what you actually think. And then they said things about me being a conservative, whatever. And it's because I wasn't liberal enough. And I know that this happens on both sides. This is a problem with the idea of becoming popular through political or media means. Is you have to be controversial. You have to be more and more split to be noticed. And then the only people that are going to listen to you are the people that are also split in the same way. So I don't want that. I don't care about success. If I did, I would join whichever one and just root for them 24 hours a day, and then I'd become popular. And it doesn't matter how right or wrong I am. It matters how big I can spin something. I don't like that. So I'm not for or against either side. I'm against bias. I'm against the people that are for themselves, for the sake of themselves, at the expense of others. And that's what misinformation does. So I would very much like to be able to write for a company, or to be able to make videos for something or with someone, but I will not do what they were asking me to do, and I will not allow somebody to change what I make. What I make isn't the best. I'm not saying, I am perfect and my stuff should not be edited. I'm saying it shouldn't be edited with a bias, and that's what they did. They took out entire paragraphs and added stuff. It's like, I didn't say this. And I am very clear about what I say, or at least I try to be, and I'm very clear about what I mean and why I say something. I am very redundant, which might be why they removed some of the stuff. I am redundant. But when they changed what it meant and why I was saying it, they changed it from, I remember it was, did conservatives just give Democrats a big Christmas present or something like that? They changed it from not having to say Merry Christmas to did conservatives just give Democrats a big Christmas present, or something like that. They changed it from what it was to splitting conservatives and Democrats again, and that's not what it was about. So I get very annoyed when people try to change what I say, because it's not fair, and I get very annoyed when people think less of you for not taking a stance. Like, I have a stance, I have a side, and that is the middle. And I'm not saying I am completely unbiased or impartial. I have my own ideas of what right and wrong is, and I can't get rid of those. But I can not let them influence what I say when I'm trying to make a factual argument. You can't change the facts. You can't. It doesn't work. That doesn't mean anything. All you're doing is misinforming people, and I refuse to do that. So yes, I have a bias, but I do not let that go into what I'm doing. Or at least I try not to. And if I do, call me out on it, and I will correct it, because I have the idea. Here's the idea, and I'm going to make this very short because I know I'm getting long into video. I'm pointing at the little clock at the bottom. When I have an idea, and I say that idea, and I'm wrong, it hurts me. It does, because I don't want to be wrong, because it hurts my integrity. It hurts the view others have of me. I am wrong. I need to fix this. But to admit to being wrong further damages, is like ripping off the bandage, pretty much. It hurts. But I need to have that, because otherwise I have no integrity in myself. And so, while my reputation might be tarnished by admitting that I'm wrong, where most people probably wouldn't even notice, I would rather that get damaged than to know in myself that I have lied on purpose for my own agenda at the expense of others. So that's what I believe integrity is, especially in regards to journalism or anything that affects other people. Like you can lie about your diet or whatever, and it only affects you. But uh, if you're going to do that continuously and expand it outside of that, then I would have a major problem with that. Um, so that's it. This is my video on what I believe debate is and the core aspect of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting or educational or informative or whatever the heck you want to word it, because I'm still bad at outros. So I hope to see you in the next video, and peace.